Golf is usually a game of quiet meditation. But if you're standing anywhere near Jordan Spieth, it sounds more like a heated debate. He's the only guy on tour who treats a golf ball like a disobedient pet. He talks to it, he bargains with it, and occasionally he pleads with it. To watch Jordan is to watch a man in a constant, audible wrestling match with the universe. For a decade, we've ridden the Spieth experience. A chaotic, heart-stopping roller coaster that went from the highest peaks of the sport to a wilderness so dark people wondered if he'd ever find his way out. But as we sit here in late April 2026, the conversation has changed. The man who was once broken by his own perfection is finally talking back. And this time, he's winning the argument. Before the green jackets and the millions, there was perspective. Jordan grew up in a house of athletes in Dallas, but his foundation was built on something much tougher than a scoreboard. His younger sister, Ellie, was born with a neurological disorder. While other child prodigies were being told the world revolved around their swing, Jordan was learning that a bad round of golf didn't actually mean much in the real world. Ellie was his anchor. She kept his feet on the ground while his talent was trying to pull him into the stratosphere. It created a rare kind of athlete. A kid humble enough to know golf wasn't everything, but talented enough to play like it was. By the time he was a teenager, he'd won the U.S. Junior Amateur twice. Only one other guy has ever done that. Some guy named Tiger. In 2013, Jordan was 19, he had no tour card, and he was basically playing for his lunch money. Then, he holes a bunker shot on the 18th at the John Deere Classic to force a playoff. He didn't just win that day, he kick-started a revolution. He was the youngest winner in 82 years. He didn't have the muscle of the modern bombers. He had a putter that felt like it was guided by a laser and a brain that processed information faster than a supercomputer. The rise wasn't a climb, it was a vertical takeoff. 2015 was the year Jordan Spieth broke the sport. He went to Augusta and tied Tiger's scoring record. Then he went to Chambers Bay and snatched the US Open. At 21 years old, he was the world number 1 and halfway to a Grand Slam. He made the most difficult game on earth look like a simple exercise in willpower. But in golf, perfection is a loan, not a gift. And the interest rate was about to come due. Every tragedy has a location. For Jordan, it's a 155-yard par 3 called Golden Bell. Sunday, 2016. He had a 5-shot lead. The green jacket was already being sized for him. Then, in 15 minutes, it was gone. 2 balls in the water, a quadruple bogey. It was the most public, agonizing collapse in modern sports history. He had to stand there and put the jacket on the guy who beat him. His face was a mask of shock. We thought he'd bounce back in a week. But inside his head, a gear had slipped. The conversation with the universe was no longer about winning. It was about survival. What followed was a slow-motion car crash that lasted nearly 4 years. The magic putter went cold. The drives started finding backyards instead of fairways. He went 1,351 days without a win. People called him a one-hit wonder. They said his swing was fundamentally broken. By 2024, it turned out they were partially right, but it wasn't just mental. An ulnar nerve injury in his left wrist was causing his hand to literally pop out of place during his swing. He was playing through pain, trying to band-aid a game that needed a total rebuild. In late 2024, he finally went under the knife. For a golfer, wrist surgery is the ultimate gamble. But for Jordan, it was the first time in a decade he could actually feel his hands again. That brings us to right now. April 2026. 2 weeks ago at Augusta, Jordan didn't win. Rory McIlroy finally got his Grand Slam, but Jordan finished T12 with a ball-striking performance that statistically looked like his 2015 prime. He said he hit it better than the year he actually won. Then, last week at the RBC Heritage, he did something only Jordan could do. He stayed under par through 36 holes despite carding 4 double bogeys. No bogeys, just birdies and disasters. It's the Spieth experience in its purest form. The chaos is still there, but the fear is gone. We loved the 21-year-old champion because he was a machine. We love the 32-year-old Jordan because he's human. He's been to the summit, he's been to the bottom of the lake, and he's still here. Still talking to his ball, still arguing with the wind, and still believing that the next shot is the one that changes everything. The golden boy is gone. In his place is a man who knows that the ghosts only have power if you're afraid of them. And Jordan, he's finally stopped looking back. Thanks for watching.